The Kogi State Bureau of Land and Urban Development has called for proper use of land in various communities across the state for proper development and accessible roads. The Director General of the Bureau, Abdulmalik Samari Teina, made the call at a meeting with traditional rulers, community heads and other critical stakeholders in the state at the Glass House, Government House, Lokoja. The experienced land administrator said is committed to ensuring the right steps are taken at all times, assuring that it will involve everyone along in the scheme of things to ensure proper land development across the state. Our reporter, Joshua Adinoe, tells us more.
The stakeholders meeting by the Kogi State Bureau of Land and Urban Development under the leadership of the new Director General, Abdulmalik Samari Teina, was organized to interact with the stakeholders to know the way forward. The DG explained why it was imperative to hold the meeting at such a time as this.
Government are not saying we are taking over the land of the community from them, but for proper development, for proper arrangement of district. Community that want to go on their own to allocate lands, they don't know all the land use. Where has been earmarked for drainage, where has been earmarked for green area, where has been earmarked for access road. If you go to the cities, the modern cities, you see how districts are being arranged. That you can navigate your way, you drive freely. We want to have that too in our state. And the only way we can do that is to allow the proper channels. Because by Land Use Act, at the Federal Highway, you have to live up to 45 meters away from the road before you put up a structure. By the state road, you have to live up to 30 meters away from the road. But it is not being done here because the community that indulge in allocation of land to people, to individuals, they don't know some of these rules. Before you know it, you go to some places, you'll be stopped. There will be no access road.
After the DG's explanation, the stakeholders raised various issues as they also promised collaboration with the leadership of Samari Teina, intending to bring in lasting solutions.
10 plot, give it to this man from this ministry. 10 plot, give it to. So at the end of the day, you discover this set of people again will begin to sell out the land to another group of people. It's a challenge. Because at the end of the day, you discover problem will come. Because they cannot come to my community, I begin to sell land to another people that belong to our fathers. It won't easy. That is another challenge on its own.
Any land that they give us, we don't get land. Those people should help us monitoring it. If you want to revoke a land belong to any agency, let them know. We'll give you people advice. No. Instead of that, give it to us. Because giving land to individual, in between the security is very, very dangerous. I want your office to look into it, sir.
You are a very nice human being. I think being a honest and sincere. There's some DG came, he doesn't even bother about community. I wish I told him, subject to litigation. Because if you don't mind of any of that, anything can happen. If you doesn't acquire my land, you go there, you think I'm going to leave you like that. I will not. Please, I'm begging you. You are still going to meet with the head of the community to resolve many things.
We were in certain agreements, issue of percentage of land acquired, we went to the government, we went to the community, but it will not be fulfilled. There is a particular issue behind Upper Imeme, like he has rightly mentioned. Eka District even has a court judgment over the government, which we did not enforce, but with understanding, we were still managing ourselves over there. The issue of vandalization or communities trying to hinder the development is on the basis of this communication gap. So henceforth, if government is interested in any particular area, they should know the committee that owns that place. Let the attention be drawn so that we have a roundtable talk and agree on what will be the procedure.
Traditional rulers of Akpata and Oworo at the event took turns to address what is applicable in their domain and called for synergy that will attract business owners and investors.
The DG emphasized on access to roads that have been closed up by people. Please, let this be part of your plans for the borough. 16 kilometers radius. I am quite aware my community, Akpata Oworo, is outside the 16-kilometer radius. But we have synergies. I have had meetings, many of which are present here today. I had invited them to my community. I've sold out ideas. I've brought them in as to what can be done for development to come. Lokoja, the former federal capital of Nigeria, is today congested. There are so many facilities that are supposed to be allocated to Kogi State, but the land is not just there. In as much as the federal government recognizes our communities, whatever activity that will be carried out, it is also very imperative for the landowners to be carried along.
I have no single plot in any part of our land, and I have not given anybody for purpose of gratification. So I think leadership is that we must demonstrate transparency and sincerity. I have done this with the hope that my people are going to follow, but the reverse is the case. Am I lying?
In his response, the Director General of Kogi State Bureau of Land and Urban Development, Samari Teina, said there was need for collaboration between land allottees and the government, stating that such synergy will go a long way towards bringing peace and even development in the society, and promised to bring solution to issues raised by the stakeholders.
His Royal Highness Olu of Oworo said, if you want to do urban renewal, it's very, very capital intensive. You cannot go to all these traditional areas now and start demolishing houses. Where are you taking them to? So we have to look at existing available plot of land where something new can be done. So that road is very, very critical at that upper main. Please, people from Eka community who need to interact with you people, please, we expect a memo from your people so that we will know how we'll go about that area. Because that upper main, which we tag as TPS 199, is very, very important in our scheme of work. The whole of Felele, which is almost the whole of Oworo, is captured in the 16-kilometer radius. Yes, and I understand the point you made. I understand very well. We are going to expect memo from you, or just visit the office. We'll sit down just like we are talking about the master plan now. We need to know, because already there are several existing structures there, both on the government side and the community side. So we need to go into detail now so that we can demarcate. We know the area government layout, then we know the one that fall into the community and unfulfilled promises, all those things, we need to resolve it by God's grace.
On issues of land encroachment, the DG said it will no longer be business as usual, where people take the law into their own hands, calling on land allottees to report issues of encroachment to the Kogi State Bureau of Land and Urban Development for immediate actions.
We want to have a common ground. We don't want to be having issue of land dispute in the state. So we want them to understand that government is not here to be taking over their land without being adequately compensated. But we want to make it clear to them that the issue of allocation of land in the state, especially as it concerns that 16-kilometer radius, is vested in the Bureau Bureau of Land office. So we want them to start all those arbitrary allocation of land to individuals. If they want to allocate land, they should come to the Bureau. We'll do proper planning. We'll do a good layout for them. Then we'll allocate it to them. Because our own primary major responsibility is to make sure we develop all the available land within the capital city before we talk about the whole Kogi in general. We're going to be listening to any of the community that have challenges or any issue or any matters that will arise. We'll attend to it.
The stakeholders, who said they envisaged a new dawn in the state following the all-inclusive approach of the new DG, enjoined him to continue on the good path he has started. I am Joshua Adinoy, reporting